Beastyqt versus Serral are loading up into this right now. So, to the upper left hand side to kick us off into this brand new, fresh best of 5 here today, it is going to be the Green Terran player, who I'm just updating the name of on the title of the stream. Is to the upper left hand side the Green Terran player, Beastyqt. And down to the bottom right, it's going to be our blue Zerg player from My Insanity. That's here, guys, if you're cheering on Serral. ShuckNasty69 in the chat saying he's excited for the NA qualifier later for M Cannon's games. Should be good. I'm looking forward to them as well myself. Hopefully we'll get to cast a little bit for a few of those games at least. Fingers crossed. As we just see, the opening here from Beastyqt is going to be the multiple racks down to the bottom left hand side of the map. So Beastyqt is going to open with a lot of pressure here right from the start of the game. He is going to go, and with no gas, he's honestly going to go and just going to go. I'm surprised there's not a third racks actually. He might make a third racks. I don't know. Like I guess he could make a third racks with his SCV after. He's actually making a lot of SCVs at home, so. He's actually, in a way, sort of playing kind of a macro-based 2 racks opening. So he's going to pressure with 2 racks towards the frontier very early on. And then as he follows up after this, he's going to, I don't know, I guess he'll just kind of pull back home into an expansion because he's got a good SCV count and an orbital on the way as he starts to bunker up towards the front. Now, I would like to say as well that, you know, we saw Serral play very well against Marine Lord, so... It was just Marine Lord was just on another level, and this is a qualifying match still as well between Beastyqt and Serral, so it would be nice to see actually either of these players qualifying, because honestly they have both this year been sort of underwhelming. It'd be great to see Beastyqt get so good. DreamHack Montreal, he's I think one of the players who's just always been so good on the ladder and just hasn't had tournament results for so long now, it seems. As we're just going to be seeing these Marines continuing to work against this hatchery. I mean, this attack has obviously started, and we're waiting to see what Serral's response is going to be. Spancroll on the way. The thing is, if he just lets this natural die, if he just lets this natural expansion die, then it's going to be very awkward, because it's one of these situations actually where, because basically he's built up so many SCVs at home and built up an orbital, BC has a very good economy at home, so Serral can't really afford to just let the natural die and then follow up in another way, and that's going to be very you know, it's going to be very kind of, you know, Serral's going to be a big disadvantage by losing this natural, whereas a more aggressive, like, 3-racks attack would make Beastyqt more committed, and if Beastyqt was more committed, then we definitely see sort of Beastyqt in a situation where he's much more easily going to be kind of caught up in the game, as we see SCVs repairing the bunker and themselves there. And again, this natural expansion has gone down. Rotron is on the way from Serral. He's going to let Link Speed finish too, and so he's just going to try and bust out of this eventually, but actually the Marines are already pulling back. The barracks have lifted and started to go back home as well. Factory is building back at home instead of an expansion, so we'll actually probably see a starport on the way up, and see a probably some kind of tank drop playstyle from Beastyqt to kind of follow this up to continue being aggressive. Oh, with the might not works as well, and actually a double starport behind this. Wow, Beastyqt gonna go into the I guess double port Banshee, right? I mean, what else can this really be? With the Woodermine on the way out, you'd expect it to not be anything too gas heavy out of the factory. Just so you can afford, you know, lots of gas on the starports. This is going to be interesting then. So, Beastyqt with a super aggressive follow-up behind this. You're going to be seeing the racks just deeper coming down towards the edge. Overlords kind of position themselves to try and get into positions to come in and scout here sometime soon. The thing is, I mean, then starport's finished. There's the tech labs, and the command center now starts from Beastyqt as well. And he's going to go into this Banshee play, and I mean, you're sort of looking across the other side of the map. Serral is still just trying to break out of these bunkers. First one salvaged, the second one I probably won't get salvaged in time, and this will just be the death of the bunker. And new hatchery comes down, so I mean, Serral begins to expand here, but I mean, he's stuck on roaches. He's already on a fully saturated base, so whatever he makes right now is somewhat useless because he can't attack with it, because Beastyqt is sat on just one base. He hasn't put his natural on the low ground, so he can defend very easily. And he's also got double port Banshee to kill anything that comes across the map too. He's actually only going to go 1 Banshee and 1 medevac. He's actually going to come in here and be able to, first of all, kill his Overlord, but he's going to lift up these Marines and go across the map with the Marines. So we're going to try and be aggressive in a couple of different ways, and SCV, sitting a bit far forwards here, is going to go down. just going to be seeing the Evo Chambers about to finish up themselves. We're just going to start teching into upgrades. I mean, what else is he meant to do? He's stuck on one base, he can't mine from a natural. It's not worth making more drones because he's oversaturated already on one base, you know? He's a bit of an awkward spot. Maybe time to start making drones now, and he does start to make those drones. Again, there's a lot of kind of delay on his kind of setup here early on that Serral is facing, as we're going to see those Marines just pushing a few of those Zerglings away. And that would have mine coming in as well. Going to lift up into that medevac. And, oh no, actually going to just go across the map for the Marines. Just going to put the Weather Mine at the front of the natural. Well, that works too. As we'll see Beastyqt just coming over to the right hand side here a little bit. You'll see that Weather Mine. We'll just go off on a single Zergling, Beastyqt not retargeting that at all. Wolof is up here, and as we see these units coming up the high ground, he sees a reactor on a factory, but that's about it. And still more Banshees on the way out, still no cloak. But he's going to have 4 Banshees moving across the map. There's a Spire on the way. But, I mean, that's nice from Serral, but at the same time, I guess actually if he gets the Mutas out in time, it's a long rush distance for the Banshees. He'll be able to clean up the Banshees then, so the question is, does the Banshees get something useful done before that point? As you see the medevac continue to come down towards the lower right hand side. Zergling's just running by. And again, the medevac just going to continue in towards the main base here. So, going to drop already, can find an overlord towards the edge. Actually, just misses the main. Whether that was intentional or not, I'm not sure. And we do just see. I mean, the Banshees have to go soon, right? The longer they wait, the more chance he has that they're going to get figured out. So, as they come across the map right now, there isn't actually any real anti-air apart from the Spy, which is going to be finishing shortly. The Roaches and Ling's not going to do too much. It's going to be a lot of dead drones. 3 Banshees. I mean, they can kill off the hatchery first as well. I mean, the Spy is still 15 seconds away, and he has to wait for the Mutalist to pop out. He actually doesn't have minerals for Mutalist right now. He has the gas, but no minerals. As the Banshees come in, they are going to see the third hatch, and, well, they're going to just go for the third hatchery. I think probably one of the better choices. Get rid of this, and then go in towards the natural mineral line. We see spores, of course, starting up as soon as these Banshees are spotted, but obviously very late, as we see the third base getting cancelled at the last moment there. 4th Banshee, and well, the Banshee's actually going to use to clean some creep spread right now. And they're looking forwards and just going to continue trying to do whatever they can. A couple of Queens are spawning. This natural is actually going to make this very well defended. As you'll see this drop trying to come into towards the main base too. And just continue to try and do a bit more damage. But Spore going to finish there. We'll push the medevac away very shortly. 6 meters on the way up, and so these 5 Banshees are actually not really going to do too much in the end. Again, they've denied the third base for a little while, but that's about it. And so these Banshees have no other real choice other than to try and trade with the Queens. And that's the last damage they're going to get done. So unfortunately, Beastyqt doesn't have as strong a follow-up as he might have expected here initially. He's going into Stim now. He's making 3 Liberators off of his double starport. And so he's going to be able to go into... He's got third base as well. And he is down a set of upgrades, so it's still kind of in the balance to some extent. I mean, it's not a great situation for Serral, and he's got Mutas now, which are going to be heavily countered by these incoming Liberators, but at the same time, it's still not the end of the world, I would say. I mean, he's got a 1-1 upgrade lead and starts 2-2 very early in comparison to his opponent. The Mutas can maybe get some damage done around the map. If you lose a Stim, oh wow, if Beastyqt loses Stim, that would be horrific for his play as he starts to repair it. The Tech Lab survives. That's huge. I mean, he keeps Stim here, and he's actually, I mean, with these Hellions, it looks as though he might go towards a kind of an aggressive push sometime soon. You know, kind of push across the map with the Liberators, especially because his Mutas out. He has Liberators to counter them. Push across, be aggressive. He's going to take the gold base now as his third as well. So setting up into this, moving his third into location. Mutas come in, they find a couple of SCV kills, find a medevac as well. And this is the thing, the Mutas are definitely a comeback mechanism for Serral now in this game. We're going to be seeing the Marines stimming forwards though. I'm just going to kind of keep on fighting against them. We'll push those all the way back here initially. As the Mutas coming back in. And we'll clean up a few more of those Marines once again. The Liberators, I'm surprised they're not out chasing these Mutalists. Liberators have been very passive here from Beastyqt. Considering he invested into them, you'd expect him to use them. And there he does come forwards with them now. Starting to push this back. Continue to chase these couple of overseers, and let's be careful, doesn't want to take it too large of a fight, but starts to clean these up, and the realists clumped up as well, taking quite a bit of damage there. So Beasty sets up into his third base as a gold. I mean, Serral still has this upgrade lead. I actually still don't really mind Serral's position too much, because again, upgrade lead, work account, somewhat even. I mean, Serral may be a bit behind in the economy. It's definitely not unwinnable though, and I think that's one of the main things to take away from this right now. As we're just going to be seeing the +2/+2 upgrade is going to be finishing very shortly here from Serral. I mean, it's going to be 2-2 against ++1 for a little while. It's crazy. Upgrades, something you can never really kind of neglect in the game. It's crazy, you know, they always have a huge effect, generally. and being an entire kind of 1.5 sets of upgrades ahead. Or it's really only 1 set of upgrades ahead, but you'll be 1.5 sets of upgrades ahead right now for just a little while. It is pretty insane, as we're going to see these mirrors coming in and just again trying to get some damage done, but so many liberators in the sky, not really going to let that be a reality for too long. You see some Lings going to counterattack up the right hand side of the map. Obviously, this natural expansion is somewhat exposed at the moment. As again, the liberators trying to come in here and again just see what they can get up to. So continue to try and come down as you see the Ling is just going to run in towards the natural. Think about running towards the natural. Few SCVs have to be built immediately against this, and actually some Lings into the fifth base too. I mean, it's actually Beastyqt, he's currently across the map, so he's going to take a lot of economic damage while he waits for reinforcements to come in. And Beastyqt is losing so much right now, as we're going to be seeing these Marines coming in. And well, the problem for Beasty was he just committed into that double port Banshee. He made so many Banshees and it just didn't do very much in the end because of the fast Spire play from Serral. Now Serral is still doing damage across the map. He's got Beastyqt down to only 22 SCVs. And Beastyqt, all he does is cancel out base on the 4th base on the gold, which is not really enough to keep himself in this right now. Serral using some burrow play as well to keep these Zerglings being annoying. The last thing Beastyqt wants to do right now is have to use some of his scans to kind of reveal these Zerglings which are burrowed. And that's going to be GG. Serral is going to take game 1 after being in a very bit of delay between the games, guys. Not much we can do if the players are just needing a few moments to set up into the second one. So, as we go into this, we have to the top right hand side. Should have really, I think, been 1-0 up in this series, but just kind of messed up here and there. It is the pink Terran player. It is Beastyqt. Down to the bottom left hand side. From my insanity, the red Zerg player is going to be Serral. So, as we see an Overlord just moving out onto the map right now for our Zerg player, Serral is again got those cross spawns which we were just talking about, where he's gonna really enjoy having cross spawns in comparison to Beastyqt. It's much harder for a Terran player to push in these locations. So this is not the best start here for our Terran player, not by a long shot. As we see, Rax just being added on, and yeah, Refinery being added on as well. So Rax Refinery, no real surprises there. I mean, choice of either Reactor or Reaper Expand currently. Either or is going to be a possibility for him right now. Did you see the gas coming up from Serral? Hatch, gas pool from him. And we're off to a very standard start up here on Frost for map number 2 of the best of 5 series. So again, hatch gas pool against the, again I imagine Reaper Expand. We could see a Reactor Expand if Beastyqt wants it, and actually it is going to be a Reactor Expand. Sometimes off the Reactor Expand you see double Reaper afterwards. Also a possibility here, so I mean it's just Beastyqt changing up his build orders a little bit here and here and there. It's just going to be seeing that command center dropping on down from Beasty. So CC on the way down. It's going to be seen as Overlord on the way currently to the right hand side of the map for Serral. So finally getting this Overlord sent over to the right hand side. We're going to see again the natural expansion from Serral 2. It is going to be finishing up in just a few moments. And yeah, nothing really to shout about just yet, so we'll just watch and see how this game develops in the early stages. Am I going to be going to Montreal? Nah, I'm, obviously it's quite far away, it's quite expensive to go to Montreal, so I'm not going to be heading over there. Be cool though, but I don't think it's worth the cost. And also, I mean, I'd have to go away from the stream for probably like 5-6 days again, which is not what we want to do. We want to try and keep you guys, giving you guys action every single day. I mean, Montreal, because it's an American event, it's obviously going to start like midday, 1 PM, 2 PM American time or NA time, which is very nice for me because it means that that's actually in the evening. So any sort of daytime casts we do are not actually going to overlap with WCS. So stuff like Go for SE2, potentially Leafeng Cup or Do You Star Masters, they're not going to overlap. So actually it's not like there's not going to be anything to stream, and that anything I'd stream would overlap with WCS if I went to Montreal. It'd actually be quite the opposite. There probably would be stuff for me to stream still, so it doesn't make a lot of sense to go, as we're going to see a couple of Hellions on the way out. It doesn't make a lot of sense to go, and I definitely can't afford it anyways as well, so I'm going to be seeing those couple of Hellions popping, and well, TvZ is just on the way out here right now from Beastyqt, as we're going to be seeing a little bit of a different opening. We see him making a Marine, no tech lab just yet, so maybe just a Hellion drop here early on in the game. maybe a Hellbat based play, considering he's going into Marine production. Hellbat based play with a medevac behind it as well. Always somewhat powerful too, as we do just see these Hellions just having a look around, see what they can get up to. The answer is right now not really too much just yet. As you see the Overlord trying to scout into the main, gets denied pretty much straight away. So Serral, not picking up on any information, does see the Hellions and sees the reacted factory still, so should know that this is continued Hellion production. But that's about it for now. That really is just all that we're sort of seeing here currently. As we see those Hellions still just moving around. And we're going to see what they can get up to. We're going to see the third hatchery from Serral also just going to be on the way up, as we realized previously as well. So third hatchery on the way up. We're going to see an Overlord sat down to the south side. And yeah, there's the army on the way. So it is going to be a Hellbat attack. Already the medevac with Marines inside coming across. And well, Serral, what's he got prepared to deal with this? He's only got Lings and Queens currently, which is obviously not going to bode well initially. Needs to be careful not to lose these Overlords. He isn't actually going to hit a supply block if he loses these, but it's still frustrating if he does. Is the armory not ready just yet, I imagine? Actually, the armory Hellions are going to be kept behind the wall for now. Just kill off one of those Overlords here, as we'll see Baneling Nest begins, but it's a very late Baneling Nest. We'll see immediately the medevac has to pull back though. So some of the Marines going to miss out on the healing, which they may kind of need here. So might be able to turn now and once again start targeting down that medevac, as we see some of the creep tumors being taken down. Beastyqt, how does he commit forwards here? Does he go in towards the natural? Does he let these Zerglings come in and wrap behind him? It looks as though he will. Medevac continuing to take some damage, boosts away once again here. One queen goes down already. We're going to see him picking up another queen in a moment or two. And that should be the medevac. Surely target it, please. It's doing so much healing and so much into this for Beastyqt. Serral takes quite a little bit of damage so far. I mean, these Zerglings are now going to be caught in a bit of a bad choke point as well, trying to fight. We're going to see Beastyqt moving forwards again. He's going to try and get a couple more queen kills. Again, very, very low, those last couple of queens. More queens actually popping out as the lair starts on the natural. Beastyqt will eventually be cleaned up here as the Spank will come in to save that one queen at the very end. Queen keep running. Oh, goes down. Beastyqt gets some good damage here. I mean, he forces a lot of units out. He doesn't really kill any workers, but he kills so many Zerglings, and it's such an inefficient trade. 34 Lings is a lot to make as well. And I mean, you can see Beastyqt is up to 50 workers against 47. So he's in a very good position actually right now. Looking very good here, as you're going to see those Zerglings just collecting together to the top side. We're going to see Beasty is already building a third CC, and for some reason he's going to build a fourth. Maybe just letting his minerals slip a little bit, but I mean, even if he lets his minerals slip, better to just add on an extra rack so that he's saturated on freebase rather than just building a random fourth CC. So that's a little bit interesting here, as we see this Viking starting to do damage as well, looking for its second Overlord kill of the game already. Going towards the front. And well, actually, maybe that's why Beastyqt is playing with another command center, because he's actually not building barracks; he's building factories. Sorry, I looked at the. I didn't look at the production tab. I just saw these over here and assumed they were racks. But no, Beastyqt is gonna play some Mech here right now. So, Mech on the way up for game number 2 of this series. And well, immediately we're gonna see Serral is going into Aspire. He's actually gonna have to do something about these Liberators right now, which are doing quite a bit of damage. Ooh, and Siege is there before cancelling a drone, which is about to finish building, so a little bit of a shame on that one. As we're just going to be seeing that one will get away. And Beasty. Obviously now the CCs make sense. He's going up to 5 command centers just because he has so many minerals and not enough gas, so just needs to maybe pump out a few more Hellions to get rid of some of that minerals maybe, as he does move in towards his third location, down to the south side here it would seem. So going to be taking his third base down to the south side. Pretty standard third base to take. I mean, this base is a little bit more abusable with the high ground ledge, so not necessarily the best one to expand towards if you have the choice. And especially as a Terran player who is, generally does have the choice as to which expansion they want to take a little bit more freely. I guess they could take that one. There's just no reason to, honestly. As we're going to see +1 Mech weapons on the way. My question is from Serral, he does now know it's Mech, so what's his response going to be? Inspire just finishes, does he still make some mutalisks? He makes 6. I mean, 9 or so mutalisks could be pretty effective, especially right now as there isn't really much anti-air. You see some turrets being added on. I guess there's the Liberators, so maybe just 6 meters then is actually a good idea, just the 6 to kind of defend here initially. And just sort of go from that point. Hydralisk Den is on the way now from Serral on the main base, as well as the Infestation Pit. Also the Roach Roar down towards the natural. So he's switching into this setup to play against this Mech style. You see Magfield Accelerator coming in from Beastyqt. So he's beginning to prepare himself for this sort of Mech play as well. Infernal Preigniter and Magfield Accelerator, 2 different upgrades there, both of which will help him once he gets in towards this mech army. So a few more Hellions just going to be popping out. Cyclone is on the way too. A couple of Liberators also still building. As that call to command just moves a little bit further forwards here. A little bit more damage towards the front as well. So 3 more Zerglings going down. So you see those Zerglings continue to get picked away at. A few Liberators pull over to the right hand side themselves. As you see them Mutas again just backing off a little bit here. So Mutas just backing off a little. We're going to see a 5th base down to the bottom right hand side from Serral. Just going to be allowing him to keep on expanding. Now the 5th base is generally quite hard to hold on this map for any player, just because of how exposed it is in comparison to the 4 bases. So we'll see if that's a base Serral can hold on to. Maybe it's going to be a bit easier because it's against Mech, which isn't as mobile, so Beastyqt won't be able to move in that direction as easily. You'll see those Mutas just going to come over to the right hand side and have a little bit of a think as to what sort of direction they may want to go in. Liberators here all kind of nearby though, so they can deal with the Mutas very easily. And these Mutas, they're just sort of to do a bit of damage here and there. It's not much of an issue, but they're not doing absolutely loads. You're going to see this Hellion just going to be working his way through. The Zergling's trying to take down his engineering bay. Hellion gets surrounded. A few things do move into position over here, but Hellion's coming into location. And for the most part, it's just going to be Hellion Cyclone out of Beastyqt, so building into this sort of old school style of mech play, old school Legacy of the Void style anyways. You'll see a couple of Cyclones logging onto Mutas there. That will be getting very low. They don't quite go down. 5 Vipers on the way up right now. We're going to see a few more Hydras being added as well. I mean, Serral just taking this time setting up to play against this mech army with however he feels is best to do so, which is currently seeming to be a Roach Hydra based composition, with a few Vipers mixed in as well for Abduct, maybe just the Blinding Clouds as well can be very useful. Let's see exactly how this goes. We see moving down to the bottom left hand side, Beastyqt. He's setting up ready to go. He kills off a couple of overlords already. We're going to see a scan coming down. A lot of pitching is being picked away here right away. So lots of pitching is being picked away at, and we're going to see these roaches and a few Hydras moving forwards. Beastyqt begins to siege, and honestly Serral doesn't really seem to have too much. The Mutas will come in now, but a few Liberators still in siege as well. Cyclones as well will act as anti-air, so I mean honestly Beastyqt just has so much. I don't see how Serral realistically defends this. Well, of course, the Battle's coming down, he kills off 1 Liberated, but I mean, the Liberators are set up, and I mean, Serral's 3rd base is dead, so he's going to lose his 3rd base. He can't kill this army right now, it seems, unless some miraculous engagement comes in right now with these Vipers. Serral just has 80 workers but no army, you know, he's got like absolutely no army supply. 5 Vipers is nice, but he's got nothing to support 5 Vipers. It's not like the Vipers are actually going to kill this mech army. They're going to help to kill it, but they're not going to kill it themselves, so this is going to be pretty crazy here. I'm just going to be seeing those Vipers, Hydras, and the Roaches. So sort of sat around the ceiling. But again, abducted forwards another one too. I'm just going to be seeing again this sort of army just from Beastyqt, he just back away by him, you know, just kind of back away and kind of come again when he's kind of reinforced, I guess. I mean, he's got a lot of reinforcements back at home, considering these little units are like 3 supply each, a lot of them in 2 supply, it's a lot of supply, which is just sort of back at home sitting around. He's going to run into the Cyclones, Liberators as well, will clean that very easily. And you see a few of the units getting abducted back in towards this Roach Hydra force. Now the Grand Army looking a bit scarier here from Serral, looking a bit more as though they could really contest against this army from the mech player. Nice Blinding Cloud on one of the tanks, but the Vipers for the most part just getting disintegrated by the Cyclone lock-ons. I'm just going to be seeing the Watchtower being taken. Beastyqt will defend against this kind of counter push from Serral, and he'll just continue to build up in towards this mech army, just getting ready to go once again here in game number 2. Roach Hydra Ravager is continuing to move around the map still. A few roaches to the northern side from Serral, just going to be looking to see what exactly they can get up to. See if they can run by in towards this 3rd base perhaps. And I mean, Serral's still maxed out, but did take a lot of damage previously, losing this base here, losing some drones. And it's definitely hurt his economy. He's actually down in the economy right now. He's down to 62 workers to the 70 SCVs. Actually, maybe it's Beastyqt, he needs to stop making workers himself a little bit, or get rid of a few workers just so he can make his army a bit larger. The number of orbitals he's starting to set up on the map, there's absolutely no reason for him to kind of have so many SCVs anymore. So he'll begin to trade those away most likely in the near future. And honestly, like little run-bys like this from Serral will probably do Beastyqt a favor by getting rid of some of the SCVs so he can build more army instead. just going to be seeing this Hydra Ravager Viper force coming up towards the upper left-hand side. Let's see the command center just thinking about moving in towards the main base. Instead of down here, I mean, he's just trying to expand wherever he can. He does have the base coming down to the south side, so that is one base he will secure him for himself for a little while as this en masse of Cyclones moves out onto the map. Viper's still around, looking to see what they can add on. And obviously, for the most part, the Vipers will add on the fact that you can abduct these Cyclones, bring them into the army, and reduce a lot of the mobility of the Cyclones, which they are generally meant to have. So, just going to be seeing this group of Hellions still just moving around here. Actually going to find these bases at the bottom side, so actually all of a sudden Serral is already pulling workers away, realising that it's time to get out of there because he just isn't going to be able to defend his base in time. Beastyqt just moves forwards and his base will go down very swiftly as lead. There's a few drones still surviving to the right hand side, and actually here comes the army. And it's kind of interesting because Beastyqt doesn't really have the space to kind of kite away, which is one of the strengths of this. He takes down a lot of the Vipers initially, a few of them left over there, and there's a few abducts coming in. Beastyqt does lose quite a bit in that trade. Takes down another base though, and will just retreat now to his own base. A few more Cyclones set up to the north side. And Serral's still just building Roach Hydra, so still sticking with this composition using the Vipers as well, of course. And we're just going to be seeing him starting to push into this location. And Beastyqt, does he have enough to keep on fighting here? We see another Cyclone just doing a little bit more damage than he loses one to the cross. The Bile's actually blocked in there by the SCVs. Beastyqt needs to bring his reinforcements down. He really is just missing something right now in this. As Serral is, if he continues like this, he's going to keep on abducting Cyclones in one at a time, and Beastyqt is just losing so much now. This is very, very tough for him. We're going to see a few more SCVs just in towards that base to the right hand side. We're going to see a few Hydras and a Roach. Still just reinforcing. Viper's back over to this hatchery to get some more energy, and again, these abducts are really just killing Beastyqt. This looked so good for him when he initially pushed, but it was looking so good for him, but now, actually, I mean, I don't think Beastyqt has enough himself to hold on any longer. He's having a couple of his Hellions interceptors, they try to run by across the map. More Cyclones, a couple of Ghosts coming in. Actually, a couple of Ghosts could be a bit of a game changer as well if they do hit some EMPs. Oh, that's also nice as well. If he just catches these Vipers out of position, one goes down, 3 of them remain, and the abducts come in to deny the Cyclones from killing off any more of those big Hellion run by now to the south side. And well, actually, Beastyqt, he's going to get some damage done with this one. And Spankle here to defend. That's about it. Spankle and the Queen. It won't last too long. Surprise, we could see him maybe go into Hellbat mode. Hero just coming across here. Eventually, Serral will begin to deflect this. We'll begin to clean this up. Micro and these just try and catch as many of those Hellions as possible. Get them low so that when they go into another base, they won't last very long. Serral taking some economic damage, but still the issue that, honestly, Beastyqt's army is not looking too great right now, recently. I mean, this command center, I'm not sure where exactly that's planning on going. Nice little flying cloud already to get the turret out of the game. And just looking to try and snipe forwards here, not even on the Vipers, which is, again, surprising. As Beastyqt misses rallies another Cyclone down the center of the map. I mean, he gets intercepted before he can do much. So we're still attacking with them 3 roads. You see a couple of closer battles coming in onto the planetary fortress, trying to break this right now. Serral's still maxed out, and Beastyqt trailing down at 135 supply. Not pretty for him at all as the road just coming in towards the 3rd base here. You see tanks or 4th base here. Tanks going to start trying to clean up, but one tank falls, SCVs are falling too. And still just so many Vipers continue to make good trades for Serral. And it really looks as though he's turned this game around from what was initially looking like a little bit of a disaster when Beastyqt was pushing, and Serral just didn't have anything on the ground at all to realistically contest it. These Cyclones moving, they're going to lock on to a few of the Hydras and Roaches. You see those Cyclones being abducted forward by the Vipers once again as well. The MP comes down, that's a nice one, actually going to take a lot of the energy off the Vipers and gives now maybe a bit of opportunity to Beastyqt to actually move forward and engage into this. A few Biles will try and push that army back, and it will be successful in doing so. As we're going to be seeing the just gathering together once again. Command center is still splitting up. Beastyqt trying to move in towards the 6th base now, trying to find somewhere to send his extra SCVs as his 3rd base mine's out, his natural gone, main base gone more or less. He needs somewhere to send those workers. You see Serral is establishing his own 6th base to the 7th base now to the top side. He's still got these bases down here. Taking a lot of damage from Liberators and so on throughout the game, but for the most part they've still been mining effectively, which is a good thing, as Cyclone's still training quite nicely when the Vipers are not nearby. Here we go once again, though the Vipers coming back in, no Ghosts to kind of help them out this time with some EMPs. And so the Vipers looking for a good bunch of abducts, and there it is, the Cyclones start getting pulled into this army as soon as they don't have the range on their opponents or on the enemy's Zerg. they go down super quickly. A good chunk of roaches still to the north side of the map, out of Serral, seeing if they can get up to anything anytime soon. A single Hydra left over here to fight against the command center that might try to land, I guess. And Serral just still with these bases up to the bottom side is continuing to mine away, sending drones around them, just continuing to keep his economy going so strongly. As we approach the 20-minute marker, is this sort of stage of the game where honestly Beastyqt needs to try and, you know, just stabilize once again. And I mean, he's been doing an okay job actually. He is actually now maxing out once more, which is what he needed to do for a long time here. But there's still roaches around the map being annoying, and you know, he's struggling to take another base outside of the 5 bases he already has. And he's got an orbital trying to land over here, but I mean, this is still a Zerg base as well, which you should know about. And you see again, just another abduct, another cyclone goes down. And resources lost, still favoring Beastyqt. You know, his Mech army very efficient overall. And he took some good trades earlier. Definitely hasn't taken very good trades in more recent engagements. So we'll see a few more Hellbats morphing in. And we'll just have the little bit of an army to the top side from Beastyqt coming around and having a little bit of a look to see what that might be able to get up to. You see actually doing some good harassment now with some of these Hellbats. Picking away at a few of the drones, so a few drones starting to go down. Single Hydralisk here working its way through that command centers. Just gonna see those that Hydra up here just gonna go down as well. We're seeing Roach continue to pick its way through Hellbats. But I mean, the Hellbats again have been effective and they've definitely distracted Serral for a good amount of time here. Killed off some workers as well, and it's given Beastyqt again the time to just re-establish this base down here and continue to harass this sort of location as well. Actually, those Cyclones are a little bit locked into a corner now though, so that's available for them. They'll lock on, they'll kill this hatchery, and will be rebuilt almost immediately by Serral. Both players are somewhat struggling on when it comes to kind of money now. I mean, even Serral is struggling somewhat in terms of minerals. It did just remake 13 workers and 6 more on the way, so his economy is on the way back up. And as you see, Beastyqt just sat here, the double sense tower, great strategy. The YC units once went this them twice. As you can see, another hatchery coming in over here. The Hellbat forgotten about actually, apparently. As we'll see, Beasty is finally getting a base up to the top side of the map, but yeah, he's just going to run straight into the tanks. Kind of closes the gap here on one of them and will kill one off, which is something else. And then just roll into this another scan. Might be time for Serral to just re-engage or reapply sort of his position in this game, go towards the top side of the map instead. Could be a much better way for him to kind of trade here, instead of continuing to focus on the bottom side against this base. But if he continues to focus on the bottom side, he also protects his own bases, which is worth keeping in mind. Because Beastyqt actually has a bit of an army up to the top side, a couple of Liberates, 5 Cyclones and 2 Hellions. And his base also has 2 tanks on it as well. The Vipers coming into play though, and again the Vipers will have a major effect on how this engagement goes. You know, Blinding Cloud 1, Blinding Cloud 2 also need to know and as effective as you might want it to be. You see the Liberators though, not going to be able to be fought, not without some ducts coming in on them. So Serral's still trying to find a way to finish this game off a little bit. As we're going to see, ooh, a nice little combination of spells from the Vipers. I like that with good Blinding Clouds actually, and good Abduct as well. The Cyclones don't get kited back in time, and so they do take a little bit of damage. 2 of them surviving. This base over here now though in general is going to just be in a little bit of trouble. There's the 1 Blinding Cloud left over for the Planetary. That'll be perfect, and there it is. Planetary Fortress should now go down. You see a few just moving forward just to take down the siege tank as well. And the left base will fall. At the same time though, Beastyqt makes moves to the bottom side of the map, takes down this expansion down here, and again just taking advantage of the fact that there is currently just taking advantage of the fact that his opponent is out of position to the top side. So Beastyqt now can actually take this base, although it has been mined from a little bit. It's still an extra base to mine from for a little while. And Beasty needs minerals. As many as he can get. He's down on 122 supply against 173, so he needs to make something happen. He needs to make something happen, and he needs to make something happen here soon. As we do see a few roads just going in. Picking up a few SCVs towards the northern side again. Run-by is continuing throughout the game from Serral. He still has the player with a bank right now, as we approach maxed out for him as well. I mean, you always got to play sort of slowly against the mech play. You got to just play to sort of pick them apart, more so than anything else. Now here's what we're seeing out of Serral, just slowly but surely picking Beastyqt apart, just a little bit of damage here, a little bit of damage there, repositioning to focus on the top side instead of the bottom side of the map, and it all does add up. As we're just going to be seeing SCVs starting to mine from this orbital to the bottom side, and it's going to mine out very quickly with those SCVs mining from it, and so many mules as well. Surprised to see Serral is, I guess that's why he's not pushing into this whole location here. I'm surprised there's so many ghosts from Beastyqt. I mean, a couple ghosts for EMPs I think is nice, but actually this many ghosts I don't really think adds anything at all against this sort of army which we're going up against out of Serral. I mean, a few snipes on low health units like Hydras isn't generally effective, so I'm not too sure about the ghost number right now. As we see, the army continuing to come down towards the south side. From our Zerg player, going to be pushing in towards this base, which is actually heavily fortified. Can the Vipers get the engagement which they need? A couple of abducts already. Just needs the blinding cloud on the tanks realistically, and that's going to be enough, I think. I mean, even actually just the 2 tanks might not be enough in the end. Some ghosts coming in from the side, and actually that's just something which... Okay, there's the Overseer coming in, but already a lot of them Hydras going down. Big trade, favouring Beastyqt here, actually, in the end. And ghosts being a little bit more useful than I thought they would be, more so than anything because there wasn't detection there in time for the Hydras to actually fight against them. The last few Hydras up here just going to try and run away. Beastyqt will retake this base, but it's still struggling. I mean, 100 supply down. He's 30 workers to the 58. He's 62 army to the 140. I'm just going to be seeing this units from Serral. Just coming forward, see Abduct on one. Liberator, Abduct on another Liberator. So a couple of Liberators will fall. Tanks are pulling back here again, and well, we're just going to see more units continue to pour out from Serral. And that's the thing, Serral's just had his economy well set up here. He's just traded well enough at this point, I think, to realistically make this work out. He's still been trading less efficiently, but has just been mining from all of these bases. He's always kept a better drone count, it seems. And that's what's going to matter here towards the very end. You're going to see them 3 tanks sieged up are, of course, going to do a little bit of damage, but not when these Vipers come in and cause a little bit of a difference there. Serral just needs to make sure he has enough... he needs to keep that Overseer alive. If he loses the Overseer, that's actually going to be very detrimental for him trying to fight against these ghosts. Another Overseer coming in. Very easy to lose Overseers though, of course, with the very easy just, snipe it down. 4 of them in total. And Serral still just looking to do game-ending damage and to push Beastyqt out of this series. We're going to see these Hydras coming forwards. I'm going to be picking away just another ghost or 2 here or there. A few more drones just setting on up as well in production tab, so a few more drones just on the way still. I mean, Beastyqt is still pinned back, 100 supply still, can't get back up to max. You think back like 10-15 minutes ago in this game now, Beastyqt was in a really good position on Serral's 3rd base, he killed Serral's 3rd base, Serral had nothing, Beastyqt ended up backing away from that, and well, Serral has found his way back into this game from there. And we're talking about Serral now, he was going to be 2-0 up in the qualifying round for DreamHack Montreal. It'll be very interesting to see Hellions trying to run by, and Hellions continuing to drop around the map. We'll see them roaches coming in once again, continuing to trade here against all of these SCVs. A few ghosts coming in too and going to snipe down a few of those roaches. A couple of blinding clouds coming down as well. We'll see a few snipes coming down. Ooh, blinding cloud comes in though, and actually that's a pretty good way to stop them ghosts from sniping. And the last few ghosts are going to go down here, and basically you can just see his supply is continuing to dwindle in the latter parts of this game. The last few ghosts go down, and then what does he have left over? He's got a couple of tanks in production. I mean, he just has nothing. He's got a couple of hellbats to the top side being cleaned out as well. And Beastyqt is going to find himself 2-0 down against Serral here in this best of 5. He's going to have to win 3 in a row just to come back in this series. And that is not going to be something that is easy to do in any way. So let's go in and let's introduce a couple of players. Down 2 games has got a bit of an uphill battle ahead of him if he wants to make something happen here. It's the pink Terran player. Guys, is here to cheering on Beastyqt. And at the bottom right is going to be our green Zerg player. For Mind Sanity, can he get himself a slot at DreamHack Montreal? It's going to be Serral. As we set up into the 3rd game of the series, we're going to see a pull first from Serral, just in case perhaps it's a free rack sweeper play, which is something some Terrans like to do, especially Beastyqt. And it looks as though Serral's pull first might very well pay off for him here, as we're going to see immediately the 2nd racks on the way down from our Terran player. So Beastyqt setting up in towards a free rack sweeper opening at the start of game number 3 of this series. We're going to see that next rack's coming down as well right now. And there it is, free rack sweeper coming up from Beastyqt to set up into the early stages of game number 3. Now, is this going to work out for him? How good is Serral's defense going to be? Obviously, pool hatch gases I actually don't know how much I like. He's going to go immediately roach rush. He's actually open to kind of go for an aggressive roach push anyway, which is of course going to be pretty nice for him. So already opening to kind of play an aggressive roach push is really quite nice. So he's going to be able to go in towards... he's going to have roaches up already to kind of fight against the Reapers, which is of course great. And this is Beastyqt in a little bit of an issue now, right from the get-go. He's kind of Serral's off to a good build order to start, but at the same time, Serral's only on 16 workers, and it's unlikely his roaches are going to do any damage. So at the same time, he does have to try and drone himself up a little bit here, because if he doesn't, then he will find himself actually being behind. So the roaches are nice because they'll defend the Reapers, but at the same time, he needs to make sure he drones, because otherwise, again, he will be at an economic disadvantage, and that can hurt him. Also, the fact this was pulled first means the second queen doesn't come out as fast, and that means that he's potentially going to be a little bit behind on the queen defense as well. So, in a way, I actually think this is kind of okay for Beastyqt. I actually think this is sort of not so bad for him overall, because you sort of look at it and oops, well that's a little bit of a mistake. So I'm going to get into the base there with a link. But yeah, I mean, for Beastyqt, you sort of look at this and well, Serral has to kind of play already from behind in workers, and Beastyqt just has to keep his opponent off a third base, which is very easy with these Reapers. So it's almost as though Serral's going to a standard kind of anti-Free Axe Reaper defense, yet he's only going to have a he's going to go for like a standard anti-Free Axe Reaper defense, but he's only going to have like he's going to have way less drones than usual. So he's going to be seeing the Reapers just going to be coming in and just going to be trying to continue to do some damage. Going to be running forwards and a couple of grenades here and there just to stop the roaches from coming down as quickly to defend this. Serral gets a little bit of damage done. Beastyqt still up by 4 workers. I'm just going to be seeing another Reaper, so continue to come across the map. As you see, Rav just doing a little bit of damage there as well. And again, those roaches too. Just want to try and continue doing whatever they can. Again, a couple of battles, we'll see the Ravagers continue to morph in here. It's again just the work count that's an issue right now for Serral, and of course the fact that he'll struggle to take a third base anywhere in the near future too. Of course, right now Beastyqt only on one base of a second base building, but he's still going to buy a lot of time before third base comes down from Serral as well. And Serral's still only making kind of Ravagers right here. And Ravager's definitely good. Needs to make sure he keeps some roaches in front to do the tanking, but well, just needs to kind of at the same time keep on droning too, because again, he doesn't want to be too far behind that work account for too long. Otherwise, Beastyqt's kind of follow-up, kind of bio play is going to be way too powerful. As Beastyqt does begin to also set up into a third command center, you can see down the production tab as ooh, nice again. The Ravager's just catching a Reaper there, so. Continue to defend. It looks as though Serral's content with his number of units now and is starting to just go into drone production. As we're just going to be seeing the Reapers continue to come forwards here. So Reapers continue to move forwards and just having a look to see what they can do. Lyre is on the way up. As Beastyqt not paying attention for a moment or two. Loses one Reaper very nearly, losing a second. Just didn't get that final shot from the final Ravager off there. As Reapers are already looking to kind of maybe jump in towards the main base. That's what they're threatening by moving in this sort of direction. As we'll see, Serral's starting to push these away though, and he is beginning to open up the opportunity for himself to take a third expansion. A lot faster than I think you really should be. I think 5 minutes to take a third base against 3 Axe Reaper is generally quite nice. So honestly, Serral is opening fairly decently in this game. We're going to see a lair continuing to come up. We're going to see combat shields and stim pack also building right now from Beastyqt. As you see, actually a bunker up this ramp, which is kind of interesting, just to stop any sort of counter attack, which is kind of cute. And we're just going to see the Reapers coming towards the center once again. But again, Serral has the access to a third base now, and that's something you shouldn't generally have against 3 Axe Reaper this early in the game. 39 to 37 workers. Serral is continuing to make more roaches here, so maybe he decides to go very aggressive himself. There's a Nidus network, so probably looking to be very aggressive in towards the main base with this Nidus. And he'll be hitting just before Stim Pack comes into play, so he'll be hitting at one of the kind of stronger timings. But from Beastyqt's point of view, Scarlet actually did this as a counter to kind of 3 Axe Reaper a while ago against Beyond in the Doyu Star Masters, and it did win her the game, but it was very close, so we'll have to see how this is going to go. Serral has a lot of units right now though, and Beastyqt depends how fast he responds, because at this point in time his Reapers are in completely the wrong location. So yeah, it's going to be really about how fast he responds to kind of the Nidus network coming down in the main base. And where exactly does Serral put it as well? Probably around here. Oh, or towards the front? I'm not sure if I like that as much. I prefer it to be in the main. Maybe he puts one in the main base afterwards. Maybe he puts 2 down. One in the main and one over to the left-hand side. The thing is, once the first one comes up, I mean, he's going to very quickly realize there's another one potentially able to come. And there's that next Nidus coming down. So here we go. Mule's starting to pop out towards the front here, and already Beastyqt is going to start realizing this. The Reapers will be there to kind of throw some grenades into this, though. Stim is about to finish. And as we'll see, these Queens will have a few transfuses on them. There's a bunker over there. It's not going to do too much. Grenades initially. Doing a little bit, as you can see that Nidus in the main base going to get targeted down very quickly, and so Serral should just take the opportunity to push towards the front. And actually, it's a bit awkward now from Beastyqt, because now how does he push down his ramp without being in a very awkward spot? We'll see, maybe an Overseer needing to come in over towards the front right now, as Ravager shots will just stop Beastyqt from coming down his ramp to the low ground. He's heavily supply blocked here. He's having to stim down in a horrific position. Beastyqt in the worst possible concave, as we see him continuing to fight this, though. Another nice pops up, and the reinforcements are actually going to come out in towards the main base, starting to fight against Reapers with these Roaches and Queens. And we'll still see some Corrosive Bars just left over here, and Beastyqt is pushed back into the back of his natural there with a few units. More units coming out towards the front as well. As we'll see, Serral still sitting in a pretty good spot now. 12 workers ahead, 20 army supply ahead, without a third base though, so he still has to sort of win the game with this push. Otherwise, things are going to be very troubling for him. Nice Reaper grenades to stun a little bit there, to buy a little bit of time. Queen's transfusing units up to try and just keep them alive that little bit longer. Beastyqt is beginning to clean up. I'm not sure where Serral's reinforcements are, because it feels as though he hasn't brought anything out of these areas. Wow, look how many Roaches are coming out now. Imagine they were here earlier. Why was there so many? Why were they so delayed coming out? A little bit of a mistake there by Serral, as we'll see that Orbital Command still kind of moving around. Serral has been denying 9 on the third base as well. Overseer does go down. Beastyqt down to 22 supply on both workers and army. 44 supply total there momentarily. See another Nidus in the main base. The Roaches pop out. Well, the Nidus gets targeted down. I don't know if Serral's just being overly aggressive with this. I mean, is there not better ways for him to do this? Well, possibly. As we do see Marines and Marauders just continuing to hold on. I just don't know why Serral was so long in kind of getting further reinforcements out of this Nidus. Like, they were obviously there. There's no way they were just the last set of reinforcements built. There's like 2 sets of reinforcements built, and definitely a little bit late there, as we're going to be seeing Roach just pop them into the Nidus once again. I mean, do they go back home? Now what? He's going to try and take a third base. I mean, I know he's kind of ahead in workers. He can't actually take his expansion because of the creep tumor. But I know he's ahead in workers, but still, I mean, look at this. Mule's dropping to the base over to the right-hand side, and I just feel as though Serral made a few mistakes there. Committing to the Nidus again in the main base, I don't think he needed to do. And there's a few things he didn't need to do, which he tried to do, which maybe just put him into a bit of a worse position than he had to be in at this point in the game. That being said, he's going to start the 1-1 upgrades before his opponent. He's going to start roach speed as well. Again, the main issue, he's at a 16 worker lead, but again, Triple Mule is still in the game, and there is 3 SUVs being made at a time. As we're just going to be seeing the Marines just moving a little bit further forwards once more. I mean, again, Serral going to get into road speed and 1-1 upgrades nice and quickly, and that might be his way to kind of close this out. Again, a win in this map will put him into the WCS Summer Championship to play at DreamHack Montreal. Again, what an opportunity that would be for him. It's been a long time since we've seen him at a larger WCS event. Maybe even last year was the last time I saw him. I don't think he was at Katowice. I might be mistaken. It was some time ago. Another battle coming down here again. These Marines and Marauders just trying to see what they can do, pushing a lot of these Roaches back. Another Corrosive battle coming down once again. Roaches and these Ravagers will once again try and fight towards the front. And Serral actually is going to GG out of the game. He doesn't have the bio, so we've loaded into Galactic Process. For game number 4, to the top right hand side is going to be our pink Terran player. Let's see, guys, if you're going to be cheering on Beastyqt. And to the bottom left hand side is going to be our red Zerg player from My Insanity. He's up 2 games to 1 in the series. Can he keep his nerve and qualify with this map win right now? Or will this go to game number 5? It's all down to Serral in the bottom left. What's up, Poison in the chat? How you doing? What's up, Martinator as well? How you all doing? Hope you all doing well. Be enjoying your Saturday. What better way to spend your Saturday than with the WCS qualifiers? Doesn't get much better than that, as we see 2 racks from Beastyqt right from the get-go. He is going to once again play a 3-rack sweeper, so 2 games in a row. Going to play this 3-rack sweeper opening. Interesting. I mean, it worked from last game, but I actually really feel as though Serral did defend it well and was in a good spot. And I mean, he could have either just taken a third base. I think that would have been fine for him, or even if he didn't take the third base, just went and sort of well, just kind of execute the Nidus in a little bit better. I think it would have worked too. But either way, Just going to be seeing the couple of extra racks on the way up. So going to be 3 racks in total here. And with these 3 racks in total, we're just going to be setting up with Beastyqt in a way to kind of get into those Reapers. So obviously this time Serral is not going to have kind of a blind Roach Warren on the way down. He's not going to play aggressively like he tried to back on Frozen Temple. So he's going to be going to play a, he's going to have to react to this when he sees the multiple racks, or the multiple Reapers, whichever comes first. Probably the multiple racks because of these racks on the low ground. I actually like this though, it's actually pretty good on this map. You can actually even build the 3rd racks here. And it just allows you to actually basically wall off your entire area, and there's no way into your 3 bases then, so it's very safe to do so. He's going to wall off with the depots, which is fine as well. I mean, that also works. We're going to see Serral will have to begin reacting to this. He's actually going to put a spine crawler down on the low ground to begin with, which is pretty unique. Usually you don't see stack defense coming in just because it's so easily blown up by the grenades, I think. But we'll see how it works out for him. See those 2 grenades coming down. I guess a little bit more damage being done with these first 2 Reapers. So already you can see that first spine crawler taking some damage, and Serral not going to opt for the Roach Warren just yet, which I find somewhat surprising. Generally, the Roach Warren is one of the first things we see out of a Zerg player when they identify 3-rack Reaper play, but this is not the case just yet. As we see Beastyqt moving towards the front, we're going to see those Queens just going to be moving forwards, and again, we're going to see what's going to be going on. I'm just going to be seeing the Reapers continue to take some damage. Nice control, pulling that 1 damage Reaper back, and just want to loot that Reaper jump back up there, and Reapers will continue to back away. As we'll see, Beastyqt just continue to join everything up together. So, just continue to join together. We see Fueling is moving across the map now. So Fueling is going to move across the map, and let's have a little bit of fingers to what we might want to try and get up to. Might try and counter-attack a little bit, but it's not going to be easy with a complete wall-off over here already set up from Beasty. 4 Queens and a Spine Crawler now to defend the front. That's when these Reapers want to try and start going in towards the main base instead. But actually a Spine Crawler well positioned as well, didn't like the kind of main Reaper kind of jump-in point. The Reapers get turned away pretty quickly. Doesn't lose one, but do get turned away. Now, the natural expansion building in location, and I imagine the 3rd base will also build in location as well from Beastyqt when he feels as though he can get that. As he actually catches a Reaper here with these Lings, that's actually pretty nice. That works quite well for him. As those Reapers actually going to head back across the map now and probably try and shut those Zerglings down. I was just going to see him poking up, and time to try and hide those somewhere on the map, mates. Don't want to keep them out for too much longer. So as those Lings continue to run away to the left-hand side, they are in the end going to be intercepted by these Reapers. So Reapers with some good interception there. And we see the Roach Warren finally on the way up from Serral, and Evo Chamber as well. And he will just set up into probably his 3rd hatchery very soon. I mean, that's the thing. 3-Axe Reaper is meant to keep a Zerg player off the 3rd hatchery for a long time. But nowadays, well, not nowadays, but right now. But right now, the 3rd hatchery hasn't been taken by Serral, so I'm not sure what his plan is here. As you see him set up drop an Overlord with that Evo Chamber, so might just try and get a little bit aggressive. He's making a few roaches. He's only on 34 drones. They're just continuing to come across the map right now. This actual little bit of a drop in Overlord is really nice because it's the last thing Beastyqt is expecting, and it will maybe not cancel the 3rd CC, but it will delay it by a little bit. So that's nice to begin with. We see Serral just distracted by the Reapers coming up in towards his main. You see those Zerglings coming in again. They won't cancel that CC because there's Marines on the way out, but they will be able to delay it from building for a little while. So that is something there. Those Reapers still moving around, and for now again still denying the 3rd base. Nice grenades. Going off Creep Teamer, pushing some of those roaches back as well. And so Beastyqt kind of holding this position right now, and it's going to be seeing the Zerglings running by once again, just past that command center. So again, just they're eventually going to get taken down, but just keeping a track of what's going on, see if you can spot anything in particular. And Serral going into a few more drones. I mean, again, just sort of just trying to find a way to kind of move in towards his 3rd base now. I kind of felt as though he had an opportunity to go in towards his 3rd earlier, but now he is struggling to kind of get through these Reapers, which are continuing to hold this position as Beasty's 3rd place finishes up in location. Beasty looks to be taking a very good position now in game number 4 of the series. I mean, again, he wins this. It's tied up 2 games apiece, and it's just one map to determine which of these 2 players will be going to DreamHack Montreal. As you see, again, a few more Roaches on the way out, another Ravager about to pop up as well. I'm just going to be seeing them just chasing those few Reapers away. So, a few Reapers just chased back. There's the 3rd hatchery on the way down. And again, just going to be seeing Serral just with a couple of Overlords overhead. And nearby there's a few Marines near the kind of entrances and exits just to keep track of where his opponent Maybe. Oh, I like that. Lifting up the racks just to kill the Overlord. Pretty neat little play just to kill that off nice and early. We'll see Serral starting to work his way through these rocks on the back. Those rocks going down are going to allow him to kind of open up the map a little bit, open up this fourth base. One of the worst things about this fourth base is, or the third base, sorry, is that tanks dropped over on this side can be very annoying to deal with if those rocks aren't down. So getting rid of those, we see this bio push coming across, and well, here becomes, you know, this is our question now. Does Serral have enough to defend this attack from Beastyqt? There's a lot of Marines and Marauders coming across. There's still a good few Reapers around as well. To add something into this, as the scan comes down, Creep will be cleaned out. And immediately Serral starts to pull back together towards his natural expansion. Medevacs are not here with this, which is somewhat intriguing. So we're seeing those Roaches and Ravagers starting to move forwards, and we're starting to clean out a few of those Reapers. Continue to move forwards here and just continue to push those Marines and Marauders back. So continue to push those away as we see again the units from Serral just continue to join up together. Another couple of Ravagers going to be added in, and he will continue to hold this position for now. As we have him with a 1-1 upgrade lead, that's something for him. He doesn't have road speed yet despite the less. That's something he is forgetting about. And it's rocks on the back, very nearly down, but not quite. It's just going to be seen. I mean, with more racks on the way from Beastyqt. At this sort of stage of the game, I still feel Beastyqt has a good position. He's going to continue looking to be aggressive here, and especially without road speed. I'm not sure how well Serral will do trading against this Marine and Marauder force. These units collecting together, we're just going to be seeing a single Marine run to the left-hand side from Beasty. We'll run on over here, we'll actually spot that Overlord. And then run back again. So just checking for fourth base already. Fourth base will come down from Serral at the front though. So we're going to take this fourth base over here. Immediately Beasty is very nearby to come in and cancel that. And there's that stem, scans. Fourth base goes down. And Serral can't really chase because he doesn't have road speed. How long will it be until he realizes he does not have road speed? Because there's no way he starts up 2-2 upgrades and not road speed without thinking that he has it already. Like, he must think he's already got it. So just going to be seeing this bio continue to move around. There we go. Serral recognizing it now. Starts that road speed. Going into the infestation pit as well. I'm a little bit worried for Beastyqt because we've seen in kind of the longer games so far that Serral, even though when he's been, even when he's been behind, he's been the player which has been kind of able to kind of recover and put himself back into the game, you know. So I'm just going to be seeing this Marine Marauder, couple of Medevacs joining back up, pulling back a little bit, drop to the left side, will clean up some creep spread. So can he find himself a way to pull back into this series, or into this game for the second time in this series? And we see the Lings just running on in, just clean up that drop finally, and again Beastyqt still out on the map with the rest of the army over the right hand side. I'm just going to be looking to try and push forwards here as the Roach Ravager is again just looking to see what it can get up to. The Roach to the top side, just going to be taking that watchtower. And again, just all the rocks being taken down here by Serral, really opening up the map just to make it much easier for him to defend any sort of potential attacks the Terran player tries to set up throughout the game. Beastyqt feeling confident enough to build his fourth base in location, so setting that up over here. And as we see these Roaches and Ravagers just starting to move out, move forwards onto the map. And again, the creep tumors as well. So just resetting those as soon as they get taken down. It's the advantage of having so many queens mixed into the army. As we'll see moving forwards, the Marines, Marauders, Medevacs, now a few tanks as well, looking to try and take a fight here. We have had that infestation pit up, we have got 3 infestors on the map. They will become important, and Beastyqt has to be very cautious not to run into a, too large of a fungal growth. See the Queen's actually come to the high ground. That's going to be somewhat interesting as we see this fight is going to start happening. Now he starts to pull away. Serral doesn't get close enough to drop a fungal apparently. He actually doesn't have the energy for fungal still. Some Queens will start to go down towards the back here. Still no fungal growth available on those infestors. You'll see the Marines. Oh no! Well, that is devastating because now Serral's just lost his free fungal growth. He waited so long for them to come up. Now Beastyqt is actually looking very good here in game number 4. I mean, it is looking as though Serral had an army where if he took a good fight, he might make something happen, but without the fungals, it is not going to happen. I'm just going to be seeing these units continue to come in. This guy's going to be taken down. And just a few more units just continue to come in, and well, this fourth base will just slowly be picked away at now. And Beasty just sits back and waits for his opponent to fight into him. Without the infestors, it's going to be very difficult, realistically, for Serral to break this. I mean, he's making a good effort of it. Beastyqt doing some good micro, pulling the tanks back and continue to fight away. Why is Serral winning this fight? Wow, Serral actually does win this fight as the Queens try and take down a Medevac or 2 as they retreat, and Well, Serral is maybe going to come across the map and counter. Beastyqt just overextending, I guess, the upgrades. 2-2 finish for Serral, and Beastyqt still waiting on this 2-2. Only 1-1 for him in the game right now, so just going to be seeing these tanks sieged up currently. A couple of medevacs units are going to load up, and they're going to head over to the center and left-hand side of the map here in the near future. Some more crypto is going to be put down by Serral as well. I'm just going to be seeing a bunch of creep being set up here, and again, Serral actually saves his 4th base. He's bought himself time to get into an Ultra Cavern, and so, well, just maybe he's got a way back into this game once again. Takes a fight, which keeps him in it thanks to the upgrades. Kindness Plate now starts +3 missile attack as well. Important for him to keep this going, as we see the Marines and Marauders just picking off a roach here in the center of the map, and another scan. That little creep team is going to get taken down as we see these drops again just being cleaned out, being pushed away. Right now it's Serral is just saying, no, you're not getting anything on me. Although he just let this drop run by into his natural, so he will start to take a little bit of damage. His free ultra is on the way up though. Queens are targeting down the medevacs. They are getting low. And that squad of Queens just continue to chase drops around the map. It's actually just forcing them to just kind of lose their longevity in the game, you know, because if the drops get targeted down so early, they lose so much health, they can't keep on fighting, they can't keep on pushing. It's just not possible. We're just going to be seeing the roaches and rampages. They're going to come over to the right hand side here. Going to be losing another infestor. Nelly doesn't actually in the end. This time it's a save, but man, the number of infestors we've seen going down unnecessarily in this game so far. I'm not, I'd be quite upset if I was an infestor right now. I'd be a little bit worried if I was an infestor of Serral. As we see, Serral is maxed out though, and that's again worth keeping in mind. He's getting into towards his later stage of the game. He's going to force the late game out of Beastyqt. There's both players on 4 bases. Serral even moving towards the 5th base now, to the very bottom side of the map. We're just going to be seeing the Cryptiums continue to push out in towards the center. And we'll just be seeing here the Queens and so on from Serral just joining up together and thinking about where they might want to go next. If every roach is going to head to the left hand side, and actually a big run by set up here by these roaches. You're going to find a lot of Marines on the watchtowers, so Beastyqt sees this coming in immediately. And he doesn't respond to it just yet. He actually responds by moving out onto the map, which is an okay sort of response, but still interesting. It's a very hard map for Serral to engage on right now, unless he gets flanks set up. If he comes around the right side, the left side at the same time, and also from the back of the roaches, then there's actually a lot of potential, but as it stands, he looks as though he's just going to sit down here. There we go. Starting to split up his units a little bit to come in from a couple of different angles. Very useful, of course, when you're playing against so many tanks, etc. You're going to see them ultras now being sent across the map here to try and get some damage done as well. These roaches still trading, a few tanks coming in too. And these ultras continue across the map as Beastyqt will take his 5th base as the gold right in the center. So we'll be taking this. These ultras coming in. I'm not sure about this because the ultras will kind of trade very well, but here's the problem: there's ghosts out, and well, that's just 3 ultras that Serral's just thrown away for absolutely no kind of advantage at all. When a single ultra does get in there and just kill a few SCVs, I suppose, but still not really what you'd expect to see out of the kind of investment into units. 7 more ultras in the production tab now. Serral is rebuilding and remaxing here once again. As we'll see, them ghosts from Beastyqt is, well, once again just gathering together. A couple of liberators, the tanks as well. All just coming forward as we see, well, a little bit of a fungal there, and actually a little bit of bio going to be caught off this time around. So many siege tanks, and that's what's making life very difficult for Serral right now. If he tries to attack forwards, he's going to find himself in a very tough spot where he's really unable to kind of do anything at all. I mean, you know, like, if he attacks forwards, he's going to be attacking such a huge siege tank line. Counter-attacking may very well just be the better way for him to play this out, or flanking from 2 angles, but now this angle is kind of blocked off by the command centers. So that's not really going to happen. We see this Bioforce again just pushing forwards here, looking to see what it can do. Once again, the Ultras, a couple of them are just getting towards this 3rd base right now. Bio's still pushing forwards here. A little bit of Ling Bane, or just Banelings really, coming in to help out against the Ghosts, of course. And again, them Ultras counter-attacking are going to start picking away at racks, and well, it's going to force a reaction out of Beastyqt. Sending 3 Ghosts back already, but 3 Ghosts, that can be enough. I mean, there's more than just 2 Ultras there now. There's actually 5, but actually 3 of them pulling away. So maybe 2 Ghosts will be enough in the end. 1 snipe. And Serral turns around. He's going to actually cancel one of the snipes there. And we'll just continue to try and chase those ghosts down. In the end, the ghosts will clean up very effectively, though, as we'll see the couple of tanks going down here. I'm just going to be seeing Ultra getting picked off as well as it goes in towards the watchtower. Marines Marauders still trying to set up. And a little bit of a position. I mean, it's interesting because Beastyqt holds this position, but he's not making any forward progress. Serral is making quite a huge bank for himself behind all of this. Expands to the left-hand side now as well. Beastyqt going to take the bottom right-hand corner of the map. Top left of the map being neglected so far throughout the game, as we see Beastyqt making some more progress to the left-hand side now. And, well, Serral isn't up this ramp just yet, which makes it hard for him to push in. A couple of infestors, if they hit a fungal onto that big clump of bio as Beastyqt moves around, could change so much. 2 more starports being added on, 5 more barracks as well. We're just going to be seeing this bio force stimming in here. Going to pick away at a few of these drones. That's Hatcher as well. Looking as though it might go down. Serral is not going to respond in time. If he brawls, he'll pick off a couple of medivacs, but he loses the base. Not the end of the world. He has other bases to mine from, even taking his own gold base now to the left-hand side as Beastyqt. Well, he pushes into this bottom side now. Now Serral really is starting to be punished for not defending his bases. That's 2 bases in a matter of, well, 30 seconds. Going down, and he, well, gets absolutely nothing for them just yet. You're going to be seeing this bio pulling back. I mean, Beastyqt still has such a stronghold set up on this right-hand side of the map here, but, I mean, Serral, can he do something? Can he counterattack again, maybe? There's a way for him to still approach this. I mean, he's starting to just expand to the top left-hand side instead now. He's just going to refocus his efforts as this planting flows to the bottom right, and he's going to get taken down before it gets repaired repaired enough. If USCV is starting to drop as well. Ghosts coming in though, and mostly you're surprised to see 2 of those ultras getting picked off very quickly once the ghosts come into play. Looking for that ultralisk, I think. He doesn't know where it is. It's actually burrowed, of course. It's burrowed right here, so just hiding. Beastyqt, he knows it's around, so he's a little bit confused perhaps. As we will see the extra expansions just coming up here for Serral. And still just going to start focusing his efforts towards the left-hand side instead. But a few liberators up, not many of those. The corruptors start coming into play, and he will actually in the end find that ultralisk with a scan, and the ultra goes down to the ghosts. Army compositions: 13 ghosts, a handful of marines and marauders, 2 liberators and 9 tanks. Still very tank heavy. A lot of Vikings in this guy as well. I find interesting from Beastyqt. And of course we're on Serral right now. Well, only 2 ultras left over, going into those corruptors as well. Actually, only 2 ultras. Not really a lot of ground army here. It's very much so like Ling Bane Ravager as his ground army, which is somewhat interesting because it's not the highest tech of units. So interesting to see how it continues, if he can continue to fight against this. As we'll see again, Serral mining from these upper bases. I mean, his economy is still good. His bank is huge. He's got a lot of money in the bank as them ghosts. Moving forwards as a clump, need to be careful not to walk into a fungal, of course. As we do just see the bio force still trying to see what's going on, what is happening. As we see the tanks and sieging, moving a little bit further forwards here and there. A couple of liberators will siege up. And we're just going to be seeing a bit of Marine Marauders stimming up the ramp once more and into the 3rd base. Greater Spire is on this 3rd base, so it's actually a very important location for Serral to try and defend here, as he does once again send ultras across the map. But again, you have to imagine them ghosts are going to be pretty quick to respond, to come in to save that. As we see, oh, nice fungals. And the Gross Bars will pick off 2 liberators, missing the medivacs though, unfortunately. As we just see again, the ultras actually continue to do a little bit more damage than they have been doing previously. One of these ultras starting to pull away, realizing maybe that the ghosts are going to be coming in soon. Might be time for him to just start burrowing those and to use them elsewhere, or he's just not microing it. Also a possibility. 1 ultra to the 3rd base goes down, 1 ultra to the natural goes down, 1 ultra over here starts to work its way through a supply depot, but is trapped in a corner, and there is no way out for this poor ultralisk over to this right-hand side. Takes down a depot, albeit starts to make his way through the rocks, and unfortunately, the ghost will pick up the kill there. 3 snipes, and the ultralisk is dead. A couple more command centers coming into play. More liberators in the production tab too, as Broodlord started coming up now from Serral. We saw against Marine Lord that Serral had a lot of trouble actually taking kind of later game engagements, and so this is something which does of course kind of lean on our minds as we go into this sort of later stage of the game. He struggled to fight against the late game Terran army. That's some nice fungal growthing though. Oh really? Wow, he missed every bile apart from 1 at the end as the fungal growth wore away. Wow, that's a little bit of a lost opportunity. Some ghosts actually pushing forwards. As you see, some more snipes coming down. Another ultra again, very low. Doesn't go down just yet. We don't know where the queens are. As we see, Beastyqt starting to push forwards into Serral's locations. Nuke. The thing is, I don't think Serral really realizes this nuke is here. Oh my god. Okay, he does. He does. No, Serral's army is just gonna get away. He loses a couple of Ravagers. That could have been a lot more disastrous than it was. And it was looking to be very disastrous initially. Broodlord's going to start moving forwards. This is where them tanks are not going to be as useful, but the Vikings are in the game still. And actually we're going to start finally seeing one of the larger fights here. This is the fight we've been sort of waiting to see for a long time, but Serral's army is disappearing so quickly. These Broodlords are just not doing what they need to get done. And there's so many ghosts in the sky. When the ghosts move forwards, and brutals are going to go as well. What does Serral even rebuild right now? I don't even know. He's got, well, so much money. He makes Lings, Corruptors, and Ultras a good mix of units, but I'm not sure. You need some Infestors as well, I think, to help against the ghosts, because right now Serral is continuing to be, well, stuck trying to find this late game army. So again, it's the late game army that Serral really seems to be struggling with in this matchup. A couple of snipes coming down, another Broodlord falls, and looks to the Beastyqt might be forcing us into a game number 5. He was 2 down in this series, throwing away an advantage in game number 1, just getting completely destroyed in the Mech game in game number 2. It's been a long series, this has, and well, it's delivering some good games. And we do just see again Liberators continuing to fight. This time Serral will roll in. Why is he running his why is he running his Grand Force through here without just letting the Corruptors get rid of the Liberators first, you know? He's taking so much damage he doesn't have to take. It really doesn't make very much sense. And there's just going to be seeing the Corruptors coming forwards, taking down just another Liberator or 2 here or there whenever possible. Corruptors are going to come down to the south side. We're going to see those couple of medvacs. They're going to load up into they'll load up those units and just pull over to the right and just start unloading elsewhere. I mean, Serral starts to take a little bit of presence onto the map, which is something. BC hasn't won this just yet. I mean, Serral did have a huge bank, but it's still, you know, when you keep with a huge bank, it's not a pretty engagement to be seeing. As we're going to be seeing the hatchery to the bottom side will be coming up in a moment or two. Some Ling is going to be moving across the map as well, and continue to just see what's going on. That ghost is going to be taken down here once again as well. So Serral is going to be moving up there in towards the upper right hand side of these Lings. This counter attack could actually be pretty effective. This third base and the depots etc. might be taking quite a bit of damage here. Adrenal Glands is in the game, of course, so Adrenal Glands in, and well, yeah, Lings are doing quite a bit of damage. So Ling run by will distract Beastyqt for a while. I mean, Serral has a lot of minerals in comparison to gas, so using up Zerglings is actually a really nice way to spend his money. As you can see, the Zerglings again just trying to trade where they can. Time to pull a few of those away though. Maybe get Ghost Kill towards the natural. Also, depots going down, Sensor Towers too, and both players are kind of resetting themselves in the game. This is going to turn into, I mean, this is going to go on for another few minutes here at least. As you see a scan coming down, these Lings will take some damage. A lot of damage being done on these Zerglings. So Zerglings going down here. I'm going to be seeing this, well, the Zerg force going to be looking to move forwards and finds a few Liberators out on their own. And this is Serral starting to pull Beastyqt apart in the latter stages of this game. And it's just going to be seeing. I mean, he is. He's starting to take better fights. I mean, that's what he should be doing. Moving forward with only the Corruptors to take down the Liberators, and then letting the Ultras, the Banes, and whatever move forwards. If that's what he wants to do. The Corruptors here are actually going to come in. They're going to take down the Medivacs very swiftly there. That Bioforce is just caught to the side. Big Balin connections even. As we're going to see some snipes starting to come in. Well, this base is maybe just in too much trouble. Ghosts are continuing to kind of run back, but that's what them Ghosts, that's what them Balins are trying to deal with as they see the Ghosts starting to split up. Serral will decide to turn away. He takes down this planetary fortress and takes down what was a stronghold for the Zerg play for so long. Oh no! Oh no! Serral's Balin landmine is going to kill every single Ghost apart from 2. That is going to be the loss for Beastyqt. That's actually just going to turn the game completely in Serral's favor. That little move, the Balins they borrowed, we saw it happen and we saw the Ghosts moving forwards. They got blown up. That is going to change this game. Beastyqt doesn't have an army anymore. That is like a huge number of Ghosts. That was like 16 plus Ghosts that just went down. That's so much money. Lings are still counter-attacking across the map as well. Units are starting to swarm into this central location too, and everything is just starting to go wrong for Beastyqt. I think it's already all gone wrong for Beastyqt. He's down at 71 supply against the 175. This game is over, and Beastyqt is going to have to tap out very soon. He doesn't like it, I'm sure. He's going to have to tap out. Serral is going to qualify for DreamHack Montreal, the WCS Summer Championship.